Hello guys, welcome to Captain Dorja's Armory. This is Captain Dorja. You can see right here we're in a battle. We are in the T-54. I've got a couple of other T-54 videos up already, so no introductions on this tank other than the fact that it's a Soviet Tier 9 medium and it is an amazing tank. It features excellent mobility, very good armor for a medium tank, and quite a strong gun. It's it's just an all-around great tank. It's got really good versatility, and it has a low profile. It's just a really, really good tank. The turret is incredibly bouncy. If you can get the T-54 hull down, it's virtually impregnable against many of its contemporary tanks. Angled and moving your hull, wiggle-waggling, you can bounce an awful lot of fire off your front upper plate. The gun has good damage per minute, decent penetration at 201, which is enough to go through everything, reliably. You can't frontally penetrate everything, but you can penetrate everything from the side, and you can do it at range as well. This gun also has good accuracy for a Russian medium tank gun. It has a high rate of fire, and it has a quick aiming time, which allows you to take snapshots and to play as a reasonably effective sniper tank, although the main strength of the T-54 lies in close quarters, mid-range brawling, where this tank is an absolute standout. So here we are on Ruinberg. It's a Tier 9 match. It's an encounter battle, and the enemy team has some fierce T9s. They've got an E-75, an IS-8, an M103, a Centurion 7 Mark I, and a Waffenträger Aufs Panzer IV. So those are all pretty dangerous Tier 9s. Oddly enough, they only have two Tier 8s, a Ferdinand and a WZ-132, the Chinese Tier 8 light. And then the balance of the team is composed of Tier 7s. Our team has a similar composition. We have a IS-6 and a Tier 8 light of our own, and two E-75s, an IS-8, an Object 704, and my T-54. So here we can see that the enemy team have deployed kind of oddly. For some reason that T-29 thought it was a great idea to try and rush, and he was destroyed horribly. We're going to go into fixed camera here for a while and just watch the action. So, I'm with the SU-152, and we've encountered an M103 and an IS. Now, with this gun, I can brutalize an IS with almost no real worry. I can shoot pretty much anywhere on his tank. And as long as I keep my front armor angled, and I don't give him my side, he's going to have a really hard time penetrating me when he's fully upgraded. And as we just saw, that IS driver is basically stock. So I can completely ignore the threat of that IS. He cannot damage my tank unless I give him the sides or rear, which I'm not going to do. So the IS is backed off. We're going to try and focus on the M103 right now. The M103 is a much more dangerous opponent. Even non-upgraded, that M103 can really do some dangerous work to me. So I want to put the hurt into him. Sort of cautiously trying to advance my position here. I'm backed up by a lot of Tier 7s, so in the situation where I'm in, basically if I can't kill the enemy, my backup is probably not going to be all that helpful either, because if I can't take them down with a Tier 9, my friends probably aren't going to be able to take them down with a Tier 7. So you can see we bounce a shot from a Ferdinand off our turret as we snipe the IS-8 in the back. He basically completely ignores us and allows us to do 850 damage to the rear of his tank. You can see the sniping ability offered by this gun, so we're able to put a really long-range shot into that Ferdinand, and with enough accuracy to penetrate. That was about a 480-meter shot. We put another shot into the Ferdinand's side armor. He's down now to 75 health. Unfortunately, that shot misses, but we have a quick reload on this gun, and we have pretty high penetration. And we put the fourth shot through the Ferdinand's lower plate from about 500 meters away, knocking out his tank. Now, an E-75 is a much more difficult target. You can see bounce off his lower plate, non-angled lower plate, at close range, shooting straight into it. We're not aiming down at his lower plate, we're aiming straight into it with our low-profile tank. And we still can't pen. Now here we gamble. What I'm doing here is I'm going to force the E-75 to either maneuver against me or die against me. If the E-75 maneuvers to fight me, the T-25-2 will actually be able to damage him. If the E-75 doesn't maneuver against me, I would just kill him. And basically, he didn't really maneuver against me, so I killed him. Unfortunately, the Panther knocked out my ammo rack, but I have a repair kit, and I repair it and knock out the Panther. Now we're going to finish off the T-25 too, before moving on to work the M103. Now this M103 is not paying attention at all, so we're going to start putting shells into his butt. Alright, he's now seen us. We can see he has the intermediate 120mm gun, which has plenty of penetration to deal with me, and still deals good damage. So I thought about trying to just scope in and close fight that M103, but in the end I decided I would actually back off and try to maneuver against him, but it was all moot anyway, as our SE-152 put a shell up his butt and did about 700 damage. So we finish off the Yag Panther. We're up to 7 kills now. But the game is far from over. It's 10 to 11. Their team's actually winning, and at this point they actually have a positional, what I would consider a positional advantage. They control the field, which means they can come at the city from both sides, and all our tanks, except for me, are pretty low health. The 1390s get quite a bit of health, actually. I thought the object was on low health, but he's actually not. So, I take back the low health thing. But anyway, we found the enemy, and it's time to do some work. Now, this Waffenträger aus Panzer IV is very dangerous, but he's also incredibly thinly armored. So what I'm actually trying to do here is I'm trying to get this Waffenträger to engage me, and you can see that he fires and bounces. And my hope was that our SE-152 could shoot this guy with an HE shell and do like 800 damage to him. But you can see he has not done so, and the Waffenträger actually kills him. But no problem, Waffenträger's screwed now. So the scores are even, 12 to 12. Myself and the Object 704 and the 1390 are all still alive. The Object is engaged in town against the enemy Centurion 7-1, and I'm going to go out into the field to hunt the AT-7 and the Tiger. They were last spotted in the center of the Crossroads village, and I know the AT-7's pretty slow, so I'm thinking he probably hasn't advanced that far. But then again, I don't know how long ago it was that they were spotted. I was hoping the Tiger would be with the AT-7, because at this point I realize I have a real opportunity for a Poole's medal. And I've never gotten a Poole's medal before, and I want one. So the 1390 just killed the Centurion 7-1, and I have not yet detected the enemy Tiger or AT-7. So I'm thinking they must be down where the map just pinged, and then the object detects the Tiger. And at this point I think to myself, crap. I was hoping the two would stick together and that I would catch them in the field, limited by the slow speed of the AT-7. But obviously the Tiger has forged on ahead, and the AT-7 is not where I had expected him to be. Clearly it's been a pretty long time since we spotted him. And we had the opportunity to snipe the Tiger right there. We would have had to have fired clutch and gotten pretty lucky, but the Object 704 hits the Tiger, kills him. No Poole's medal for me. Need at least 10 kills for that. So that was a real letdown. But we can still finish off the enemy AT-7 if we're lucky and get a 9-kill game. Either way, we've got a Radley Walters medal. It's only my 3rd Radley Walters medal ever. I've had more than 3 9-kill games, but none of them... Most of them were in either closed beta or before Radley Walters medal came out. So the AT-7 appears in a completely unexpected place and actually kills the 704. I had no idea that that AT-7 was going to come from where he did. And again, you know, we're up 14-13, but even though that's just a tier 7 TD, they could definitely still win this game. If that AT-7 plays his cards right, he could actually kill the 1390 before I get there to assist. And then I'd have to get pretty unlucky to lose a solo fight against an AT-7, but I mean, it could happen. Stranger things have happened. He could kill me. He's got the penetration, he's got the rate of fire, he's got the damage per minute, he's got the gun accuracy, he has a lot of HP, and he actually has good enough armor frontally that I need to hit his weak spot, or else he can bounce my shots. And I'm not one of those people who just loads up heat and fires, so he could actually do it. So we get him in the side, put one into him. We're trying to block him up against this building so he can't reverse, but he's not having any of that. So we go for the detracking shot, but he repair kits it. Pull around his other side. Again, he's having none of it. So at this point, I just settle for shooting through his weak point. I'm trying to turn him so that the 1390 can get effective shots. I put another shell into him. The 1390 is hitting this guy, and we fire our last shot through the weak point on the AT-7, securing our 9th kill and the victory. So, no Poole's medal for me, which was very, very disappointing, but it was still an amazing game. Definitely the best match I've ever had in the T-54. One of my best matches of World of Tanks ever. So let's take a look at some post-battle results, because this was an awesome game. So you can see Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, and I think that's Master Gunner. We also managed the Radley Walters medal, Top Gun, Steel Wall, Sniper. You can see here our Litany of Destruction. It doesn't even fit on one page. This was during a 5 times experience for the first Victory of the Day event, so we pulled down 11,895 experience for the double, which was actually at 5 times, and 120,437 credits, which is a very, very high total. Very impressive. To put that into perspective, if I'd played that battle in a Tier 8 premium tank and gotten 120,000 credits, I would have been surprised. That was better money making on a Tier 9 non-premium than I usually make on a Tier 8 premium. So we have the post-battle results here. We did 6,428 damage. Our 704 also had a big damage game at 4,665. Props to the 1390 at the end with that AT-7. He really was a team player, and he could have taken the kill at the end, but he didn't. I don't know if that was a purposeful choice or if he just didn't reload quite quick enough, but at any rate, my hat's off to him. That was a fun game, really fun game, definitely enjoyed myself. Oh man, I just wish I could have gotten that 10th kill and secured the Poole's medal. If I'd gone after the Centurion Mark 7-1 instead of gone into the field looking for the Tiger, I almost certainly would have gotten it, because then it would have been me and the object against the Centurion 7-1. I could have potentially gotten in on that fight, which would have led to another kill opportunity, and then I would have been in a better position to catch the Tiger and the AT-7 in the town with the object, leading to another, at least one more opportunity for the 10th kill against the Tiger. So it's kind of unfortunate in that sense, but we did what we could. We just couldn't take down the Poole's medal. Our object 704 was too good. But anyway, I digress. You can see here the excuse me. You can see here our shots fired, 31 shots. That's a hell of a lot of shots fired in a T-54. Out of that, we landed 29 hits, which goes to show that this gun is actually quite accurate. We were firing some of those shots most of those shots actually were from pretty short range, but we did fire quite a few 500-meter shots. We fired 4 at the Ferdinand and 3 of them hit. Out of our 29 direct hits, 28 of them penetrated. The only non-penetrating hit we fired all game was at the lower plate of the E-75. And that goes to show what I mean. The T-54 has 201 penetration. It's tied for lowest out of the Tier 9 mediums, if I recall correctly off the top of my head. The Centurion Mark 7-1 with the 20-pounder also, I think... No, actually, that has 225 penetration. The T-54 has the lowest penetration of any Tier 9 in the game. And it's got plenty. We were fighting a lot of Tier 7s, but, we were putting shots through the angled front plate of an M103 frontally. We were putting 500-meter shots through a Ferdinand. That's a 200-millimeter armor plate. We were firing at range with 201 pen, and we were getting through it. So, the people who roll around in their T-54 shooting nothing but heat, they can burn in the lowest level of hell, because not only is that completely game-breaking, but it's totally unnecessary. Anyway, I digress. On the hits taken side, we received 13 hits, 7 non-penetrations, allowing our tank with 1,650 HP to survive 4,130 potential damage. Just quite a lot. And just goes to show, like I said, the toughness of the T-54. It's a really well-armored machine. We bounced a Ferdinand shell that he fired at us. It was a pretty long-range shot, and the Ferdinand's gun is not the most accurate German gun out there, but it is still a German gun. It's still pretty accurate. I think it's .36, and it's a very powerful gun, but he hit our turret, and he did not go through. So, Just a great example of the capabilities of T-54. I'm not sure what the mission that we completed was, but we completed a mission that gave us 27,793 bonus credits, which is nice. We earned a 66,000 profit. Even without the bonus credits, we still would have earned about 39,000 credit profit, which is pretty friggin' good. You can see because of the times 5, we got 11,000 experience, but even without it, we got 2379, which is pretty good. And 1586 on modified, which is no laughing matter. And it was enough for the Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, so definitely a really, really good game. It was incredibly fun. I kind of had to take a break for a minute after it and just let myself relax because I was so freaked out. I had so much adrenaline going through. It was just an amazing game. I really enjoyed it. One of the best I've played in a long time. Whew. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed every bit of that, except not getting the Poole's medal. I didn't enjoy that. I would have enjoyed the Poole's medal a lot more, but oh well. Anyway, guys, feel free to comment, feel free to like or subscribe, and until next time, guys, this is Captain Dorja, and just remember, you can never have enough big guns.